name is Amina.
How did you find us? I was lost.
You look like your grandmother.
You knew my grandmother.
Many years ago, she came here.
Until the day she discovered one.
You must leave before sunset.
Some stories must remain protected.
The Kenyan woman who discovered a hidden tribe note. This is a fictional African mystery story created for entertainment. Chapter 1. The Journey. Amina had always been fascinated by stories about places that did not appear on maps. She grew up hearing her grandmother talk about mysterious forests, forgotten paths, and people who live far away from ordinary villages. Some places are hidden for a reason, her grandmother used to say. Amina never believed her, until the day she discovered one. Amina was a 32-year-old Kenyan woman who worked as a photographer and storyteller. She traveled around Kenya documenting beautiful landscapes and traditional cultures. One morning, she traveled to a remote area near a huge forest to photograph an old waterfall she had heard about from a local guide. The journey was supposed to take only a few hours, but everything changed when heavy rain suddenly began to fall. The path disappeared beneath the mud. Her guide turned back. "I cannot go any further," he told her. "There is something about this forest. People who enter too deeply sometimes don't come back." Amina laughed nervously. "You really believe those stories?" The guide looked at her seriously. "I believe enough not to test them." Then he left. Amina was alone. Chapter 2. The Strange Footprints. The rain eventually stopped. Amina decided to continue walking. She followed what appeared to be an old footpath through thick trees. After nearly an hour, she noticed something strange. There were footprints in the mud, but they weren't hers. They were small, bare footprints, and there were many of them. Amina followed the trail. The footprints led deeper into the forest. Then she saw something that made her stop. A wooden symbol had been carved into a tree. It looked like a circle surrounded by 3 lines. Amina photographed it. She had never seen the symbol before. Then she heard a sound behind her. She turned. Nothing. "Hello?" Silence. She continued walking. Suddenly, she saw smoke rising between the trees. Someone was cooking. There was a settlement ahead. Amina slowly moved closer, and what she saw left her speechless. Chapter 3. The Hidden Village. Beyond the trees was a beautiful village. There were wooden houses covered with grass roofs. Children were playing near a stream. Women were preparing food. Men were working with farming tools. But something was different. Everyone stopped when they saw Amina. The children ran toward the houses. The adults stared at her. A tall, elderly man stepped forward. He carried a wooden staff decorated with the same symbol Amina had seen on the tree. "Who are you?" he asked. "My name is Amina," she replied. "How did you find us?" "I was lost." The old man looked at the people around him. Then he looked back at Amina. "No outsider has found this village for more than 50 years. Amina's heart began beating faster. "What do you mean?" The old man stepped closer. "You must leave before sunset." Chapter 4. The People Who Disappeared. Amina couldn't understand. She wanted to ask hundreds of questions. Who were these people? Why did they live in isolation? Why had nobody heard about them? But before she could speak, an elderly woman approached. She looked at Amina carefully. Then she whispered something that made Amina freeze. "You look like your grandmother." Amina stared at her. "You knew my grandmother?" The woman nodded. "Many years ago she came here." Amina couldn't believe what she was hearing. "My grandmother never told me she had been here." The woman smiled sadly. "She was asked to keep our existence a secret." Amina felt as if the entire forest had suddenly become silent. Her grandmother had died when Amina was young. She had always thought the old woman's stories about hidden people were simply imagination, but they were real. Chapter 5. The Secret. That evening, the village elder finally told Amina their story. The community had lived in the forest for generations. Long ago, their ancestors had suffered violence and exploitation from outsiders. They decided to disappear. They moved deeper into the forest and built a life away from roads, towns, and modern technology. They had no mobile phones, no electricity, no roads. They grew their own food and protected their traditions. And whenever outsiders came close, They moved deeper into the forest. "But why didn't you tell the government about yourselves?" Amina asked. The elder looked at her. "Because once the outside world knows where we are, our way of life will never be the same." Amina understood, but then she noticed something. The villagers seemed afraid, not of her, of something else. Chapter 6. The Warning. That night, Amina heard a strange sound outside her hut. A low whistle, then another, then 3 more. She opened the door. The village was dark. Nobody was outside. Then she noticed the elder standing near the forest. He was looking toward the trees. "What is happening?" Amina asked. He didn't answer. Suddenly, one of the young men ran toward them. "They are back." The elder's face changed. "Everyone inside." Amina's heart raced. "Who?" The young man looked at her. "The people who have been searching for this village." Chapter 7. The Chase. Amina heard branches breaking in the forest. Several lights appeared between the trees. People were coming. The villagers quickly disappeared into their homes. The elder grabbed Amina's hand. "You must leave now." "But where do I go?" He pointed toward a narrow path behind the village. "It leads to the river. Follow it until you reach the road." "What about you?" "This is our home." Amina wanted to stay, but the elder pushed a small wooden object into her hand. It carried the same mysterious symbol. "Your grandmother promised us something," he said. "What?" "That if the outside world ever discovered us, someone from her family would help protect our story." Before Amina could ask another question, the villagers disappeared into the darkness. Chapter 8. The Escape. Amina ran. Branches scratched her arms. Her shoes became covered in mud. Behind her, she could hear voices. She kept running. She reached the river and followed it downstream. Hours later, just before sunrise, she finally reached the road. A passing vehicle stopped. The driver found her exhausted and covered in mud. "Madam, what happened to you?" Amina looked back toward the forest. She couldn't answer. Chapter 9. The Decision. When Amina returned home, she searched through her grandmother's belongings. For hours, she found nothing. And then she discovered an old wooden box hidden beneath a pile of clothes. Inside was an old photograph. It showed her grandmother standing beside several people. Behind them was the same village. On the back of the photograph were 6 words. "Some stories must remain protected." Amina sat quietly. She finally understood why her grandmother had never told her the truth. The hidden tribe wasn't a discovery to be announced to the world. It was a community that had chosen to remain hidden. Chapter 10. The Secret. She kept Amina could have sold the photographs. She could have become famous. News organizations would have paid thousands to reveal the location of the mysterious community. But she remembered the elder's words. "Once the outside world knows where we are, our way of life will never be the same." So Amina deleted the location information from her camera. She kept only one photograph, the wooden symbol, and she never told anyone exactly where the village was. Years later, people would ask Amina about the mysterious story she sometimes mentioned. She would simply smile. "Somewhere in Kenya," she would say, "there is a place that does not appear on any map." And whenever she looked at the wooden symbol her grandmother had left behind, she remembered the final words the village elder had whispered to her. "You did not discover us, Amina. We allowed you to find us." And from that day forward, Amina understood something her grandmother had known all along. Not every hidden place is waiting to be discovered. Some are waiting to be protected.
Don't forget to hit that
The
subscribe
end.
button right down there. Go on, do it now, and give this video a big thumbs up.